Hi, my name's Andrew, and I haven't got my microphone where it should be. Yeah, so my name's Andrew, welcome to my watch journeys. Today on the table we have, where am I going to put this microphone? Hang on. Nope, don't put it around there. Okay, we'll just put it there. Right, we have what I'm going to call my summer build, even though it's miserable and grey outside and it's the middle to end of August and summer's coming to an end. So anyway, perhaps next summer build. So what do we have? We have a plastic case for a VH63 movement, battery included. The dial, which I've already put on, it just snaps onto the end of the plastic that surrounds the movement. Comes with two little prongs and probably is a bit dusty now I'm looking at it. So yeah, a nice blue dial, sort of sunbursty type thing going on there, which is nice, especially when it doesn't have any dust all over it. That's a bit better. A bit better. I'm even wearing my finger cuts. Taking this all very seriously, you know. So, to go with that, we have the hands with the little dial hands are blue. So just sort of hope for that would match in there. Now every time I look at the thing, I just see another bit of dust or whatever. Wouldn't be a worse thing if I give it a bit of air. Be doing that a lot. A rather nice I don't know what's it called, a flubber? Do I call it a flubber? Anyway, yeah, bracelet in blue again, so it gives it that sort of, you can see what I'm going for. And my little emblem, bull's head. This one's going to be in silver, which will match, I think, with the rest of the look. I do have some new ones for another build I'm going to be doing, which are in gold. Look at that. Yeah, that's going to be exciting when the parts finally do come. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take the dial, we're going to put an emblem on it, then we're going to put the hands onto the dial. Actually, before that, I think we'll put the battery in, which I could probably do now. I don't think my holder's going to be big enough, but anyway. So I imagine, how does it go in? Perhaps this is something I should have looked at before I started doing this. Alright, let's see, it clips off as I knock everything around. And then it clips off here. I was thinking I could just squeeze the battery in, sort of there, but I can't. That's why they have a clip. This is where I break it and it all becomes... Oh no, I didn't break it. Now the little note comes with this. It says you have to short it. I don't work with quartz movements very often, if at all. Okay. Make sure that's clipped into place. It has. So it says you're supposed to short it, which I think the only way you could do that, again, this is where it all might come to an end, is by taking a metal and going from the battery to the case. If I'm doing that wrong, someone please let me know and I will correct it, hopefully. And of course the only thing is you can't tell if it's ticking because it don't tick, and I'll only know when I put the hands on as to whether or not I've actually done it correctly. and I'm just trying to get dust. My perennial problem. That's just me. Am I just seeing things that aren't there? Yeah, possibly. No, it just doesn't look clean. Oh God. With a cloth. Yeah, I'm becoming paranoid about dust now. But anyway, right, let's get this emblem on before I do anything else wrong. So, it's not easy to do anything with these horrible finger cuts on. I do loathe them. And I need one of these. Right, and nope, not that one. Cut there. Cut there. Use the wooden thing and the plastic thing and try and get it off. Come on. I haven't done that very well, have I? There we go. Put that at a safe distance. Now, make sure I put this in the right place. I usually have a problem. I leave a residue behind. Now I've tried using that before and it doesn't work. Where am I with my other thing? There they are. So I used to have to use these, which I don't like using because they can obviously scratch the surface, but they're the only ones that really grip. And as you can see, it's stuck fast. Right, reasonably successful. Yeah, you can tell it's not perfect, but and it has left a residue, which is the downside of doing this. Oh God, in the light that looks bloody awful. Now obviously I could try and use something to get that off, but we all know what happens when you mess with faces, and it does not end well. Can I try and wipe it off, do you think, with a cloth? I think that was mildly successful. Oh, now a great big streak. I'm going to put some moisture on there. What's the moisture, Andrew? It's my spit. And that's not made it any better, but it hasn't made it worse. Yeah, you could end up doing this all day, couldn't you? Try using this. That seems to have done a bit of a better job of it. Come on. I'll have to fast forward this because this is just killing me inside. Yes, the obsessive cleaning goes on for a little bit longer, but eventually I think I've done as much as I can do. Getting that residue off is quite tricky. But yeah, so eventually let's get some hands on this thing and get cracking. So I guess we're going to put some hands on it and then get it into here. Right, so Let's get these out. Come on. Would you come? You as well. So we have the minute hand, hour hand, the big second hand, which I think goes on last, and I don't think it matters which ones I put these on. I'm pretty sure they're all the same. God, they're tiny. Come on, no. Don't be like that. Right, there they are. So anyway, our hand first, then that. Or do I put those ones on? No, put them on last. No, because I don't want them. I don't know. Yeah, hour, minute, then them, and maybe it's this thing last. Well, we've made a decision. Let's go for it. Come on. It's just being difficult on purpose. Right. This is more painful than I anticipated, I have to say. So at this point you can see I'm starting to lose it. Come on, stop doing that. Look at it. Ooh, that's annoying. I'm gonna have to. This goes on for, well, literally hours. I cannot get the second hand to go on. And then when the little hand starts to come off as well, it just gets awful and goes on for ages. And I will cut that out for you. This is painful. So finally, after what seems like days, but was actually in effect hours, I get it on. The second hand is as opposed to anything else, and yeah, and I've ended up using some Loctite glue, tiny little amount, because the problem was it just wasn't going to sit on the stem. We're recording, right? Well, can I just say that was horrendous. I mean, I can't even begin to describe how horrendous that was. Let me have a look first of all. Getting this little hand on it just wouldn't go on, or when it went on it was too loose. So I'll be honest, I ended up using a tiny little drop of that. They don't sponsor me, obviously, but it's on, it's working as it should do. And then this little bugger, the second timer, again, just wouldn't go on. I tried all kinds of stuff. I was on literally for like 2 hours, and at which point you think, is it me or is it the actual thing? And again, tiny little dot of glue. It's on. It's never coming off. I haven't tested whether it actually works yet. Don't really want to. Had this before on another job. Every time I pressed the button for it to start, it just went twing and flew away. So I'll try it when it's in there. If it does twang away, then it does, doesn't it? I'll have to cross that particular bridge when I come to it. But that was horrible, and I never want. And you forget these things. Don't do these very often. And just putting those things. I think what it is, I should buy more expensive hands. You think you're getting the bargain when you get the little £2 or £3 hands, but you're not. You're just getting yourself a whole world of hurt. Pay the money and get some decent ones. So let's see if I can get the thing cased up. Last time I did this as well, my issue was the second ticky hand was too close to the screen, to the glass, and well, obviously that didn't work either. So let's just see if I can get it in there. Well, it appears to be in there and still ticking, which is good. Is it in all the right? Is it in the right way? I wonder. Can we get the? As you can see, the finger cuts are off. Quite literally, the gloves were off, as it just got messy. Okay, now this won't go in. Now it is in. Okay, so we've got that one to take off. Okay, my clippers. And that little thing there, and this little thing here. Okay, let's just have a little bit of a tidy up. Try and get rid of some of the rubbish lying around. Yeah, I had two sets of yeah, some of you might notice the second hand is now different from what was before, because I thought this one matched a bit better with the job. So I'm just not very good at doing that. Get in there. So there's some spare hands, and right, so we need to get this back out and get that clipped off to about there. Okay. I fully expect that second hand to drop off any second, I'll be honest. And one more thing whilst I'm here, that dial, you just look at it and it gets stuff on it. It looks lovely, but I think unless you're in a sort of hermetically sealed, dust-free environment, you're asking for trouble. Right, pop this back on, see how close we are. And we're done. And it does look lovely. I don't want to press that button. I might leave it for a day or two before I do that. Anyway, let's clear away the glue before I knock it over, as you do. And let's see if we can get these lovely, I don't need that either. What am I doing? Brains all over the place. Right. Anyway, back to me lovely flubber type thingies on. So again, I've sped this up a little bit for you because like a lot of things from Aliexpress, not everything goes together or fits together quite as you thought it would, even though I bought these off the same website. Off the same, yeah, I think they're actually on the same sort of, little Aliexpress selling point. So obviously I will leave descriptions. No, I won't. I'll leave links in the descriptions even. But yeah, I did struggle a little bit to get these to go in. Not for the first time, but they get there. But yeah, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Even though the fact that these are, you can what's the word I'm saying? You see through them, even though yeah, you know that you can look through them. It makes it a lot easier to sort of line up where the spring bar is going to go. Yeah, I did even with that, I did even struggle a bit. But yes, we don't worry, we get there eventually. And I have to say, this is one of the nicest looking watches I have done in a long time. I probably say that about all mine, do I? But no, it really is. I think it sort of catches the summer vibe. Um, it yeah, it's exactly what it's the look exactly what I was going for. It's bright. It's you know a little bit sort of garish kind of thing, but and it might be a little bit too bright for some people, but isn't that what summer's all about? So yeah, as soon as I get this in, I will do some shots of it on my wrist. And well, thanks for watching. As per usual, leave any comments you want to do in the comment section. I will read and I will reply to all. I try to. Not that I get that many comments. Hopefully I get a few likes. That'd be nice. And yeah, I will see you next time, and I'll leave you with some wrist shots. And I really shouldn't be pressing these buttons. Do I ever learn? But yeah, it does work. There you go. Thanks for watching.